The Droid Moto for 2011 is bigger, faster, stronger, and nothing demonstrates that better than Motorola's Droid X2. It's got a giant 4.3-inch QHD touchscreen, along with the Android 2.2 OS. So whether you're browsing the web or watching a movie, it'll look spectacular. Plus, there's an 8-megapixel camera, dual-core processor, and 1080p HDMI output, all for $50 with a contract.
Now, this is our second Android phone of the week.
Yep.
How does this one compare in the looks department?
Well, look at it. Would you look at that? You just gotta say, look at it. Sorry, it's an obscure YouTube video that 3 people know. I think it looks fine. I mean, it feels solid. The back is a little soft, a little rubbery, so it could probably take a bounce or 3. It has plasticky hardware buttons along the bottom on the front. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these guys here. I wish they had the capacitive buttons. It's a small thing. It just makes it feel a little on the cheap side. Boom. There you go. It's a step backwards design-wise.
Okay, the X2 is running Moto Blur on top of Android 2.2. Is that a good thing?
I'm okay with Moto Blur. I mean, it's for those who don't know, it's like a layer of widgets, little applications that sit on top of it.
I have that on my phone.
Yeah, Moto Blur has a bunch of widgets that you don't need, but you can remove them. And the interface is responsive, but it's a little bouncier than the stock Android. I just don't. It doesn't have the crispness of the other phones that we've reviewed.
Agreed. The X2 has a 4.3-inch screen. It's noticeably bigger than the iPhone and the G2X from yesterday.
Yeah, the old G2X.
Who doesn't want a bigger screen?
This guy.
Really?
Right here. Yeah. I mean, the problem with making
the bigger screen.
Well, here's the thing. If you make the screen larger, you have to increase the resolution, and they did not do that with this phone. And it shows you that it's not like a Retina display. It's not really a high-def display. People with bad eyes, they won't see a difference, but everyone else will see the tiny little dots that make up the screen. And also, the X2 does not do well with some photographs and gradients. We saw obvious banding issues during our testing, and banding is like when if there's a gradient or a color shift, you can see like definitive lines in it. Yeah.
Now, like the G2X phone we reviewed yesterday, this also has a Tegra 2 dual-core processor. Is it just as fast?
Well, here's the thing. Yes, games like Cordy or Samurai 2, they look and they play perfectly. There's no frame rate issues, so that's great. I thought the interface lagged, and I don't know if that's because of Moto Blur. I don't know if that's a hardware issue, but it felt a little laggy to me. It was not as crisp. Yeah, like the G2X from yesterday, though, you can still interact with the browser even as Flash videos are playing, which is nice.
Nice. This is a 3G phone on Verizon. It's not a 4G phone, so is that going to be a problem?
Probably not for most people. I think 4G service is still a little expensive. Most people won't miss the extra speed. If you're going to be streaming a lot of video, then yes, you might want to hold out for 4G. Yeah, but for most people sending their emails or their twit pics or sexting, whatever the hell they're doing with their phones, it's going to be fine.
All right, finally, how's the camera?
Not bad. Pictures were a little underexposed, not as good as most point and shoots, but it's better than most smartphones. Look at that. Huh?
Ooh, look at that apple.
That's a balanced lunch. Video was decent, too. It was about on par with an HD flip cam. So if you're filming fountains and pigeons, you're good.
The Droid X2 sells for $50 with contract. At that price, what are we giving it?
3 out of 5. We're picky about our screens, so I would see this one in person before you actually buy it. Instead of the X2, I actually recommend the 4G T-Mobile GTX or G2X
It's hard to say.
from yesterday. They're the least sexy names in the history of phones. Like iPhone, you get it. It's a name. This is like the T-Mobile G2X Extreme with rainbows. This is the Android phone to beat, the one from yesterday. So there you have it.
All right, that's it for today's Gadget Prom. But if you have a gadget you'd like to see us rate, email us at gadgetpron@g4tv.com.